Friends, Bryan here for Yes You Can Play Guitar, also known as the Big Guitar Daddy. Today I want to talk about Ola Englund. Now, if you don't know who Ola Englund is, well, let me tell you. So Ola Englund is a fantastic guitar player. He has a very successful YouTube channel. One of those YouTube channels where you look at the production and go, oh my god, my channel sucks. I have to get my production better. Very inspiring. He is also the owner of Solar Guitars. Now, I personally have not used or tried a Solar guitar, but I have friends and I have former guitar students who rave about Solar guitars. They're like, dude, you gotta try it, you gotta try it. Never tried one. Maybe sometime Ola and I will have to have a chat. But when I started this channel, most of you know me for my reactions. Some people know me for the interviews that we do here with, known names in the music industry.
Turn his head and go like, yeah, that right there.
And that's where his piano was. His piano.
Grain prices weren't doing that well, and
still talk about it, but the color.
Some of you even check in for my guitar lessons. When I'm picking, this is what it sounds like. I'm using strict alternate picking. For a beginner, this is what a beginner would do. One of the reasons I started this channel is, in my decades, 30 years, whatever it was, of teaching guitar, of playing professionally in bands on a regional level, I've experienced a lot of things. I had to learn a lot of things the hard way. One of the things was being in bands. Now, I'd like to make it very clear up front, I've had some wonderful experiences playing in bands, being a hired gun, so to speak. I have played in a few bands that were really good, professional, respectful. But I had a lot of bad experiences too with people, where you see the worst in people. I'll talk a bit about that in a few minutes. And for some time I would think, am I crazy? Do I just expect too much of people? And I watched this interview recently with Ola Englund and the one and only Beato. And Ola Englund said this.
It's funny that you say that because my career is a little bit similar in the same that I had a band playing and we had a record label. Everything's fine and dandy, and the record label filed for bankruptcy like 2 weeks after the release of the album. And this was later though, this was in 2007. But that really sparked something in me. I've been grinding like all these years playing guitar. You want to make it as a band. All these record labels, like demos here and there. Listen to my shit, man, and going playing live all over the place. And this hunger I had to I want to be a musician. Yeah, like that's what I want to do it for the rest of my life. And that whole thing where that record label was gone, and that was basically it for the band. And I just felt a big. I just felt that everyone sucks at that point. The label sucks, and my bandmates, they don't do as much as me, and it's like if everyone would have worked as much, maybe we could have gone somewhere. But it felt like I was doing it. I wanted so much more than everyone else, and I started on this venture of becoming a producer because obviously, like, okay, fuck you, I'm gonna produce myself, right. And I'm gonna record myself because then I only have myself to blame. And I don't have to trust people that...
Watching that was a great moment for me. I had an aha moment. I'm like, hey, it's not just me. It's not just me. I'm not crazy. My expectations aren't too high. Playing with other people. Ola's been through it too. He knows the drill. I know what it's about. Now, when people contact me and say, hey man, I'm putting a band together. Do you want to play with me? I'm like, no. First off, I don't want to deal with your disordered or psychotic girlfriend or partner who shows up to all the rehearsals and the gigs and causes problems.
Please step away from my vehicle.
I don't want to babysit. I don't want to have to lend you money because, you have no money to get groceries this week. I don't want to deal with people that have addiction or drinking problems and they don't tell you about it when you first start out in a band. You find out about it when you're on stage in the middle of a set and I just don't want to deal with all the BS. I don't want to deal with, guys showing up late to get out of helping with the load in. It's an old classic trick to get out of doing your share of the work. I don't want to deal with musicians who, in the beginning, when you say, hey, This is what I want. This is what I'm looking for. And a lot of these guys, you know, are the ones that complain about, man, if I just had a weekly gig that would help me pay my bills, I'd be so happy. But then you kind of get into a situation with them and their true colors come out and you're like, yeah, I can see why, yeah, you just don't want to put any work into anything. Human nature, when we have something really good, whether it's a relationship, a band, a job, whatever, the tendency is to just squash it instead of putting the effort in and nurturing it and growing it into something awesome for everybody. Doesn't happen a lot. But yes, am I slightly jaded? Yes. When I started this channel, did I want to give advice to musicians that no one gave me when I was younger? Yes. Hey, if you're in a band and you make it work and it's a great experience, my hat's off to you. As I've said, I've had a few good experiences, but I've had to deal with a lot of I used to think, man, am I going crazy? Like regionally, like, hey, you know, like I'm arguably one of the better guitar players, lead guitar players around in the area. I have my own PA. I know how to mix sound. I bring a lot to the table. I was good at booking gigs. And you get people that come along and, you know, in the beginning, they tell you what you want to hear. But once it gets going, like their true colors come out and, you know, they don't really contribute a lot. And really, they just want to complain and just get drunk. So it was really cool seeing that about Ola. It resonated with me. And you know what? Now if someone contacts me and says, hey, man, do you want to be in a band? I'm like, no! No! Why would I want to give you my effort, my time, and my talent, and my experience when I can just focus on me and my YouTube channel? Remember, guys, click subscribe. Keep the comments and suggestions coming. Remember, practice hard and practice smart, and we will see you soon.